Greetings children, welcome to the online classes. This is Aishwarya. Please like and subscribe the channel for the further updated videos. The following video is for class 6, subject General Science, chapter 11, Light, Shadow and Reflection, part 1. So I'll be reading out from page number 107 from your textbook. Please follow the textbook. So if there are any exercises in the textbook, we shall do it together. Okay. So, we see so many objects around us. On the way to school, we see things like buses, cars, cycles, trees, animals, and sometimes flowers. How do you think we see objects? How are you able to see the things that are around us? Right, when if you're coming to school or if you're going outside, you can see your friend, you can see people going on the buses, people on the cars, then you can see dogs, you can see many things around you. How are you able to see them? Think of the same place at night time. If it were completely dark, what will you see? Suppose you go inside a complete dark room, or you are able to see any object. Are you able to see any object in that room? See here, you can see first picture showed you the road, the picture of the road in the morning. This is the picture of the road at night. So much of difference, right? You cannot see the green grass, or you cannot see the plants that are on the sides of the road. Nothing. Wherever the light of the car or the vehicle is showing only that much of the road that you can see. So, but when you light a candle or a torch, you can see the object present in the room, isn't it? Without light, things cannot be seen. Light helps us to see things. Now, suddenly, when there is a power cut, suddenly everything will go dark, isn't it? Everything around you. Then, if you have generators, then your UPS will switch on. Otherwise, you have to turn on. You have to light a candle, right? So that way, it will help you see the things in your house. The torch bulb is an object that gives out light of its own. The sun is another familiar object that gives its own light. During the day, its light allows us to see objects. Objects like the sun that give out and emit light of their own are called luminous objects. Luminous. Luminous objects means objects that can emit light on their own, like sun, are called luminous object. Example, sun and torch. Okay. There are objects that are called non-luminous objects also. Objects which cannot give out or which cannot emit light, like table, chair, things around us. Most of the things around us are non-luminous, but the luminous light is from the sun. Okay, what about objects like chair or paintings or a shoe? We see these things when light from a luminous object like the sun or the torch or the electric bulb falls on these and then travels around our eyes. Okay. Next is about transparent, opaque and translucent object. Transparent, opaque and translucent object. Recall our grouping objects as opaque, transparent and translucent in chapter 4. If we cannot see through an object at all, it is called opaque object. If we are not able to see through it at all, okay, if you keep it in front of your eyes, you cannot see what is on the other side. Such objects are called opaque objects. If you are able to see clearly through an object, it is allowing light to pass through it, and it is transparent objects. If you are able to see like a glass, okay, if you hold a glass in front of your eyes, you are able to see through it. You can see what is on the other side. So such objects are called transparent objects. There are some objects through which we can see but not very clearly. Such objects are known as translucent objects. Some glasses, no, when if you remember, in our school we have the glasses which divide the classrooms, isn't it? So um, if you sit in one classroom and look outside, you can see outside, but you cannot see clearly what is happening outside, isn't it? So those kind of objects are called translucent objects. object. Here is the best example of transparent, translucent and opaque object. Transparent, you can see clearly there's a car on the other side. Translucent, you can see there is something but you cannot differentiate properly. If you didn't know it was not a car, you would not find out properly. Then opaque. Opaque means you cannot see what is there on the other side. Next is activity 1. Look around yourself and collect as many objects as you can. An eraser, plastic scale, pen, pencil, notebook, single sheet of paper, tracing paper, or a piece of cloth. Try to look at something far away through each of these objects. Is light from a far away object able to travel to your eyes? How you have to see? You have to see it like this. You have to keep it in front of your eyes and try to see through it. He is holding a sheet of paper. Okay. Record your observation in table as shown in table 11.1. We see that the given object or material could be transparent, translucent or opaque depending on whether it allows the light to pass through it completely or partially or not at all. Here in this object you cannot see through pencil, you cannot see through rubber balls, sheet of writing paper, not very sure. So if you are able to see what is on the other side, it is called the transparent object. If you are not able to see properly what is on the other side, like a scale, you can see what is on the other side, you are sometimes you're not able to see clearly, so those are translucent. Then a sheet of paper, it is also translucent. Okay, then there is one activity 2. What exactly are shadows? What are shadows? Shadows are nothing but when an object blocks the path of light, there is a shadow formed. So there is one activity in your textbook in page number 108. Now, one by one, hold each of the opaque objects in the sunlight, slightly above the ground. What do you see on the ground? You know that the dark path formed by each on the ground is due to its shadow. Sometimes you can identify the objects by looking at its shadow. Like this. You can just look at the shadow and identify what it is, isn't it? Then there's a small activity. Spread a sheet of paper on the ground. Hold a familiar opaque object. Opaque means the light should not be able to transfer at some height so that its shadow is formed on the sheet of paper on the ground. Ask one of your friends to draw it. Okay, sometimes shadow on the object gives an idea about its shape. The outline of the shadow while you are holding the object. Draw the outline of the shadow of the other objects in a similar way. Now ask some other friends to identify the objects from these outlines of shadows. How many objects are they able to identify correctly? Do you observe your shadow in a dark room or at night when there is no light? Do you observe a shadow when there is just a source of light and nothing else in the room? No. It seems we need a source of light and an opaque object to see shadow. Is there anything else required? Which we will see in the next class. So I hope you have understood till here. Stay at home, stay safe, take care of yourself, children. Keep learning. Thank you.